Today we're going to take these pixels, we're going to take this controller, and we're going to learn how to get them blinking. I'm going to show you how. Let's get into it. So now that you have X lights opened, let's configure it to work with our controllers. So first thing, we're going to go into the controllers tab. In my case, everybody's case is a little bit different depending on the controller that you're using. For this particular example, I'm using a Falcon F16V4. So I'm going to go to add Ethernet. I'm going to go ahead and label it whatever I want. So let's just say this is my garage controller. You can add a description if you'd like. Vendor, you just click on the drop down to whichever controller that you're using. In my case, this is Falcon. Model is going to be a F16V4. I'm just going to leave it at 16 local ports for this example. My ID number, make that a 1. Auto layout models, I like to turn that off. I like to leave full X lights control. Default brightness is fine. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck monitor. And then I'm going to enter the IP address of my controller, which is 192.168.2.202. Protocol is DDP, and that's what we want. So another setting that you need to do is I have channels set to 510. So basically that's one universe at 510. Well, I have multiple channels and multiple universes in my show. Say I have 50 universes. 50 universes is 25,500 channels. So now I basically have from channels 1 all the way to 25,500. So now let's go to the layout tab. I'm going to click on the layout tab, and this is where you would see your layout. You can add a background image, which is a picture of your home, and then you can put the models on your home and rearrange them wherever you would like. I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of models. So first model I'm going to add is a single line. I'm going to click on single line, drag it out. The next one I'm going to add is the Boscoyo 36-inch spinner. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and click on the little download, says create new download, select the arrow, click anywhere on the blank screen. We're going to go to Boscoyo Studio. We're going to hit the drop down, scroll down to where it says spinners, select it. This is the Boscoyo spinner 36-inch. I'm going to go ahead and click that. So there's the spinner right there. Good to go. Here's my single line, good to go. Now let's set up some start channels and end channels for the particular models. The single line, this is going to be my gutter. Number of strings, 1. Nodes per string, 50. There's 50 on this string. My starting location is the green square. Ending location is the blue square. My controller, right now it says no controller. The drop down, use start channel. We're going to use start channel number 1. And there we go. Gutter is my model, start channel 1 and channel 150. X-Lights does all the configuration for you. Now let's go to my spinner model. So say this is my garage spinner. Go to controller. I'm going to go ahead and use the start channel. In this case, I'm going to go to the start channel is going to be 151. It's going to follow this gutter. So I'm going to say 151. There's my start channel and my end channel. X-Light's already figured it out. So click the save button. Now let's load these particular props onto our controller auto magically. Click on controllers and click on visualize. 16 ports, 1 DMX port. On port number 1, I'm going to put the gutter string. Drag and drop it over on port number 1. My garage spinner, I'm going to go ahead and put that on port number 2. You're all set. Now let's just say the gutter and the garage spinner were going on the same port. This one was before that one. You could just kind of drag it up there and then put it onto that same port. And just keep loading props. Okay, it's good to go. Before I click on upload output, let's take a look and see what it looks like on my Falcon currently. Let's pull up the Falcon controller at this IP address. Let's do that now. 192.168.2.202. There's my controller. So this is the main controller screen. My board configuration is 16 ports, which is the same as what I set up in Xlights. My controller mode, the protocol is going to be DDP. Start channel is 1. All of this matches exactly what I have in Xlights. Output settings, select pixel. There we go. There's all of our ports, start channels, pixel count, end channels, change your brightness, you name it, you can change it. So that's what it currently looks like now. There's nothing set, no start channels, no pixel count, no end channels on any of the ports. So let's upload our output to this controller. Click on upload output. All right, so that sent all our configuration from our visualizer to the controller. So let's check and make sure that it's there. We go to output settings, pixel. Port number 1 is my gutter, start channel, pixel count, end channel. Port number 2, garage spinner, start channel, pixel count, end channel. If I wanted to run my show at 30% brightness, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just change all of these ports. I'm going to change this brightness right here, control per channel. I'm going to put this at 30% brightness. I'm going to put this one at 30% brightness. Save, and it's all set to go. Now let's go ahead and test the pixels to see if they're blinking from the controller. Click on test. I'm going to select port number 1. I'm going to enable the test, and it's going to have a chase pattern. Let's go check it out. All right, and there we go. We have blinking pixels. This is our single line connected to port number 1. And we have a successful chase pattern on the spinner. Falcon controller, everything is testing just fine. Now let's test it out of Xlights. Let's go ahead and add a sequence. Let's go to Sequencer, File, New Sequence. In this case, we're going to do an animation. I'm going to say 40 frames per second. All right, so let's add an effect to the gutter. We're going to do a single strand here. All right. So it's going to be a left to right now. Let's just do a dual chase. And let's make the chase size a little bit bigger. Change my colors, red and green. Okay, let's make it a little bit faster. So now we have an effect on the gutter. Now let's put something on the garage spinner. I'm just going to go with the wonderful, what everybody loves, the butterfly effect. That's wonderful. So that's how it should look on your model. Now that we have our controller working and we have Xlights talking to our controller, let's go ahead and output this effect to the light to make sure that it's looking the same way. Click on the little light bulb. It says output the lights. Let's go ahead and click that. All right. And there we go. We have a butterfly effect on the spinner. Right there. And we have a bounce left and right. And that's working and good to go. That wraps up this video. If you have any questions, definitely leave it in the comments. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. You guys have a good day, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.